Right, in this simple probability problem, we have an octahedron whose sides are numbered from 1 to 8. Okay, so we're going to roll that die, and we want to figure out what the likelihood of the following outcomes are. So part A, we want to know, each time you roll the die, how many equally likely outcomes are there? Well, there's 8 sides, so there's 8 outcomes that are just as likely as one another. Part B, if you roll the die once, what's the probability of getting a 3? Well, there's only one side with a 3 on it, so it's 1 out of 8. C, if you roll the die once, what's the probability of getting a number greater than 6? Well, you have 7 and 8, so there's 2 sides that are greater than 6, so we get 2 out of 8, or 1/4. So if you roll a die once, the probability of getting something greater than 6 is 1 out of every 4 times. Part D, if you roll a die 800 times, how many times would you expect to get a 7? Well, if I roll it once, I would expect a probability of 1/8. So once out of every 8. So if I rolled 8 times, I would expect to get a 7 once. So if I rolled 800 times, so I'm just going to multiply that times 800. 1/8 times 800 is 100. So if I rolled 800 times, I would expect 100 of those, about 100 of those, to be 7s. In the last part of this problem, if you roll a die 240 times, how many times would you expect to get a 4? Well, again, to get a 4, it's 1/8 of the time times 240 equals 30. So about 30 times out of 240, I would expect to get a 4.